Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well today. So, I want to take a moment and talk about something that's been going on in more recent years lately. And there's been two incidents that have caught my attention done by two separate YouTube channels. One being the Great Sargon Akkad, and the other one being the Salty Cracker, who is a smaller YouTube channel, but he does do good work for what he does. And they've both been revolving around drag queen children. Drag queen children. I gotta make that clear. Not the full adults, but young boys being dressed up as drag queens, going around parading around. Now, some of you might be asking, well, why are you doing a video on this? Let bygones be bygones. Well, yes, sure, especially if a full-grown man wants to dress himself up as a woman with heavy makeup and go around, I don't know, parading themselves, we'll say. Go for it. Just go for it. I don't care. Let bygones be bygones. But there's been two separate events that the two YouTube channels that I mentioned about talked about that has kind of compelled me to talk about this and go, okay, this isn't normal. This isn't right, and it definitely shouldn't be happening to young men or, young boys. So basically what happened is, in the Salty Cracker video, I forget the location, but it was a public library. They held a drag queen event where you had male drag queens, but then they had younger boy drag queen counterparts, and they were having a little, I don't know, a festivity or something you could say. But then unfortunately, some of the patrons at the library at the event started tipping the young boys dollar bills as the boys were sitting there parading around, dancing around, these full-grown men, and I think there were some women involved too, wouldn't surprise me, they started tipping the boys dollar bills. Now, to me, that definitely sounds like a stripper, doesn't it? That sounds like they turned this into a money-making event and having these boys parade around as strippers. Now, what should have happened is some of the other patrons, or even the drag queens, the adult ones in charge, should have stepped in and said, no, this isn't the type of event, or no, don't do this, we're not running that type of business. Or even the staff at the library should have stepped in and said, whoa, hold on, no, we're not running this type of event. But instead, everyone stood back, let it happen, and one of the staff at the library posted a tweet saying like, oh, look at this is great, and yada yada yada, but that tweet has since been deleted. As I said, I will leave a link in the description for both these incidents, so if you want to take a look at them, by all means, go for it. But it's messed up, in my opinion, that event at that public library even allowed that to happen. I mean, these are young boys. Now, I honestly don't know what to really say to the young boys. I mean, maybe this is just them having fun, and to the adults, this is them. I don't want to say it like this, but considering some of the interviews with drag queens I've seen, they're helping men or these young boys get more centered or connected with their feminine side, of which to me that sounds ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I don't know. I'm literally at a loss of words at this event. And the other event that I want to talk about is what Sargon Akkad, or his Thinkery channel, talked about, where there was another incident where a young boy, I believe he was 11, or maybe a little bit older, I can't remember the exact age, but he was at a gay strip club, prancing around. Or maybe it was just a normal strip club, I'm not sure, but he was prancing around, dressing up as drag, going around, and then guess what happened? They started tipping him dollar bills again. Now, the mother of the child stepped in and said, She stepped in and said, no, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. But at the same time, the mother should have had the foresight or even just the common sense that my son is going to a strip club, dressing as a woman and dancing around parading. What were you expecting to happen? And then, for the owner of the strip club, why would he care? He's sitting there going, oh, hey, these people are coming in and, I got a free stripper. I'm going to get me some extra money. And even once again, the strip club owner could have stepped in and said, whoa, gentlemen, put your dollar bills back in your holster. Don't do that here. But instead, they didn't. Both of these events clearly saw these young boys dressed as women were being paraded around, dancing around, getting tipped as if they were a bunch of strippers. Now, if that in its wrong doesn't sound, or if that alone doesn't sound wrong, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, these are our children. These are supposed to be the next generation after us. And some of these young boys are being told that they can go to events, dress as women, and parade and dance around, and hey, you'll get some money out of it. I mean, what does that tell them? What does that tell a child who's developing? I'm sorry about all the sighing, folks. It's just, I'm just at a loss of words with this incident. Look, I have a son, and I have 2 girls, and I got another younger boy who's not, he's not my blood, but, he's part of the family. And I don't want them going through that. I don't want my son dressing up as drag, going around getting tipped like strippers. But it's just, in recent years, especially with this craziness going on with the global left, with this, we must get rid of gender stereotypes and we must accept trans women are women, or is it trans men are women? I can't keep up with it. And in recent years, there's been more and more push for drag queening and everything like that, where drag queens are being brought and they're having like kid shows and things like that, going to public readings and such. And the defense of it has been, oh, well, we're introducing our children, we're helping the children recognize that they can't always escape this. This is just a part of our culture, man. I mean, this is all natural. It's all good, man. And then you start doing events where children drag queens are now being paraded as strippers. Now, the Salty Cracker, when he was doing this video, he said like this was one step closer to pedophilia. I don't 100% agree with that statement, but I definitely understand where he's coming from with that, because if the push for drag queens, the adult drag queens gets, more and more momentum, and then they're bringing in, young boys into it. I mean, it opens the doors to many things, that I will definitely say. And if we see more and more events where young boys are, being treated as strippers because they're dressed as girls, I mean, folks, I have been halfway across the world. I've been through parts of Europe, the Middle East, a little bit of Africa, and I have been all over this great nation. And I've seen a lot of crazy stuff, but this one, first world problems, right? I just don't know. Listen, folks, this shouldn't be happening at all, in my opinion. Now, you can call me a little bit old school, but the thing is, I honestly believe that this shouldn't be happening. These young boys shouldn't be getting paraded around going, oh, look, it's drag children. Come around and pay this money to see drag children. Personally, I find it disturbing that nobody, and I mean nobody, at these events and at the strip club stepped back and protested and went, hey, we shouldn't be doing this. These are young boys. We're not running a strip joint here. except for the strip joint. But I mean, yeah, the mother complained about her son receiving tips, but maybe she should step back and I just don't I don't know. I don't know what kind of parent in the right mind thinks, "Oh, my son is going to be a drag at a strip club." Once again, I apologize for all the sighing, folks, and kind of just the oh my god. It's just that is how I feel about this situation. I just feel that that situation is literally just sighs, eye rolls, and oh my god, why is this happening? I cannot explain it any other way like that. Look, I will put a link in the description of the two videos, and as I said, they're the same event, essentially. The one's at a public library, one's at a strip club, and they're different parts of the country, but I mean, how long until we start seeing more of this? You know, like how long until this starts becoming kind of like a event, you know, like cities are going, hey, come down to City Hall, we're having a drag queen event or something like that. I just don't know. I really don't know, folks. I apologize once again, but as I said, this is ridiculous. Stuff like this shouldn't be happening, and shame on the people for allowing this to happen. Y'all should know better. Any of you, especially the adult drag queens at the library, and especially like the other strippers or strip club owner, y'all should have stepped in and said, "Whoa, this isn't happening because these are kids. We're not running this type of business." But, you know, considering none of y'all stopped it, it does make me wonder, are y'all running this type of business? Is this the future business y'all want? I don't know, folks. Once again, thanks for checking this out. As I said, I'll put a link in the description of the videos. Definitely check them out. Just do yourselves a favor and check them out. I'll see y'all later.